Hello, my friend. This is Clyde, the anatomy of a miracle. In Luke chapter 7, verses 12 and 13, we read, As he approached the town gate, a dead person was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and a large crowd from the town was with her. When the Lord saw her, his heart went out to her, and he said, Don't cry. I had some friends in college who were admitted to the prestigious School of Medicine. Well, the first semester was a tough introduction, and many students dropped out at that point because of the rigor of the two major classes, anatomy and physiology. Passing those two classes elevated them to the white jacket status. It is important for future medics to know and understand the main focus of their profession. Anatomy is applicable to patients, and it is the knowledge and understanding of the human body, its constituent parts and functions. Well, take a miracle. There's a need and there's a solution. In between is Jesus, and beyond that is what will happen after. Doctor meets patient with a problem. The young doctor understands the human body, so she knows how to recognize a specific problem, and from there to move towards a desired solution. This was a regular day in Jesus' schedule. Something great is going to happen. When Jesus shows up, something big is going to happen, and on this occasion, he did not disappoint. He saw a funeral procession. What is the big deal? People die all the time and they're buried. Unless Jesus knows the bereaved or the deceased, there's no reason for him to get involved. Besides, the story said that there was a large crowd. Nobody said anything to Jesus by way of suggestion that there is a huge problem here which needs his attention. That is you. You have a problem, a serious problem, and you are surrounded by persons, especially family and friends, who know and are concerned for you. They sit with you, they try to help, they make recommendations, but the problem is yours. It is your life, it is your issue, and the best efforts hardly amount to anything near a solution. The problem in this story is a mother. Jesus saw the dead body being taken to the cemetery. Jesus saw the large crowd that was part of the procession. Jesus saw the pallbearers. Jesus saw the person in need, the mother. The body of her son was being taken to be buried, but this was no light matter. This was no everyday situation. For her, death has taken away her past, her present, and her future all in one blow. She was married, and she and her husband had one son. Some time ago, her husband died, leaving her and her only son. She must have been devastated, especially if he was a good husband and father, but she managed to have survived that trauma and hoped for a better life for herself and her son, who would probably get married one day and give her grandchildren. There was hope, but that never happened. Lying on this casket was the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. No mention of wife and children of the deceased. Her only son died, and she was a widow. Stop and think about her problem, my friend. Once there was she and her husband and her son. Now today, she is about to bury her problem, her dead son. She's about to bury the second of two men in her life, leaving her to a dismal future, all alone. Maybe she was past the childbearing age. This is her only son, and the future was dismal. There was no hope. But there was. Jesus did not show up a week before when he could probably have helped the widow and her son to a brighter future. Jesus showed up when there is no hope for this widow who was burying her only son. Jesus turned up after you need him a few days later. Jesus shows up when the doctor has told you that you have a few weeks to live and there is nothing more that medical science can do. Jesus shows up after you have lost your house, your saving has been wiped out, your company has downsized, and you are surrounded with the darkest clouds of hopelessness. Or this time, you have been given one more chance to pass those exams in school to graduate, and you failed again for the last time. This is it, the end of your road, and there is no solution. The body has shut down. This is your fate. There is nothing else to think of and nothing else can be done. They were taking her dead son to the cemetery, but Jesus turned up, and when he saw her, his heart went out to her and he said, "Don't cry." That is the last thing you want to hear, because he obviously doesn't know what you're going through. But that's precisely why he is talking to you. You are so far gone that you've stopped praying. You've given up. You're just waiting to bury your dead future. And Jesus said, "Don't cry." You're steering the solution that you need without realizing it. Jesus has turned up today to bring you a miracle, and you cannot even see it because you have no training in anatomy. You don't know that anatomy of a miracle that is about to happen. Jesus touched the casket, the thing that carried her dead problem, and he spoke life. Young man, I say to you, get up. Did you see that? Jesus spoke to the dead. Your dead problem. Jesus did what no one would think of doing. But in that moment, the mother saw something. She saw her dead problem instantly come alive. Jesus spoke life over your dead situation. And when Jesus speaks, things happen. The woman gave her dead son to the pallbearers. Jesus gave her back a living son. Jesus can give you back that which death and circumstances have taken from you and give you a bright future again. What was the final piece to the story? The people in the procession were filled with awe and praised God. God gets the glory when there is a miracle. Do you have a dead problem? Expect a miracle. Expect the body that the doctor pronounced as dead to come back to life when Jesus speaks over your dead situation. He is the greatest physician.